Welcome back to Practicing the Craft. Today we're going to make a really fun project. It's a super easy project and we are making it with our Cricut, some wood, and a heat gun. It's our main components. This is what we're going to make. I just made this one the other day for our outside garden. We are using a piece of driftwood because we live close to the coast, so they're really easy to find. But what is important about this is that it needs to be smooth. So today I'm going to go ahead and make one for my friend Chris. We're actually watering her plants this week, so we're just going to leave it in her garden for when she gets back. Again, this is a really soft piece of wood. It's really smooth, so like a cutting board or something like that would work really well, but making sure that it doesn't have any sealers on it or any kind of coating. So we need obviously the wood for it. We need a heat gun. This is the one I have. You cannot sadly use a hairdryer for this. This goes from 500 degrees and 1000 degrees. I've used both settings. I think it's important to use the 500 first. And then if you want to go up to the 1000 if you want kind of more of a burned look, but always go lower to start. And then to make the mixture, which I will get to, we need ammonium and Cricut and a little bit of water, and that is it. So I will break down what we're going to do. Basically going to print some stuff off on the Cricut with some vinyl. Then we're going to add the vinyl to the wood, add the mixture to it, let that dry, and then we're going to blast it with the heat gun, and you're going to get a really fun project to do after it, and really easy. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is make the mixture, because the mixture does need to thicken up and sit. So it's best to make it now, and then while we're cutting and putting everything on the wood, this will be ready to go by the time we're done. So a super easy little mixture here. The Cricut comes with this measuring cup. We're going to put 4 of the small ones into our mixing bowl of the Cricut. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we are going to use a half of the big one, so of the ammonium. And I just kind of eyeball it, see if it's half. You can do more if you have a larger piece of wood, but I think that this made quite a bit last time. I had to throw it away when I did the Sutton's Garden one. And then we do a 1/4 cup of warm water and just mix it in. And then a paintbrush. I have a whole set of paintbrushes that are just craft paintbrushes. I probably wouldn't use one of your nice painting paintbrushes. And then just make sure you're mixing it really well. And it'll kind of start to thicken slightly here, but it's going to get a lot gloopier as it sits. So now that that's made, we can just let that sit and get started on cutting. Okay, so what I am going to do is I'm going to cut some vinyl so that we can put that onto our wood. It is a bit tricky when we're weeding this vinyl. It's just a bit opposite from what we normally do. So what we're going to do first is cut this out. What I did, I just added a text that I liked, and then I found a few flowers because I want to add those on the bottom. I'm going to press make it. I've already measured my driftwood, or my piece of wood that you guys are going to use, so that all the flowers line up well. And I'm just going to move these flowers down because I want to make sure that I have enough space to cut those out. You guys don't have to, it's just something I like to do. And then I'm going to press next, and I'm going to get cutting. I already have my vinyl on my machine, so everything is good to go. Just going to load it in and get cutting. Okay, so now that I have everything cut out, I have my 3 flowers back here, and then I have Chris's garden, kind of hard to see right now. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to weed this opposite than what you normally do. So instead of peeling it back like the big chunk, we're going to take out each individual letter. So we're just going to take out the C and go on from there, so that you're going to have like a big strip with the letters cut out of it, and you're going to do that for everything that you cut out, if you cut out any flowers or anything else. So I'm going to start weeding, and then we'll be ready to put it on the sign. Okay, so now that we have it weeded out so that we have kind of a stencil going, we are ready to put it onto the wood. So just kind of measuring out where you want to put it. I know I want mine on the top half, and then I'm going to put a couple of the flowers below. One thing that I did not think of when I first did it is I was like, oh, I can just peel this and put it right on. I did not take into account that there are spots in the A, R, and D. So it is best to use transfer tape. I'm going to try transfer tape on this one and let you know how it goes. For this flower, I don't think I need to use transfer tape because there's nothing inside of it. But again, with this one, it has that circle. So if you want to risk it and just try and put it back in the center, I just think transfer tape will be easier. So here we go. Okay, so now that the transfer tape is on, I am just going to remove the back side. Again, the most important part is getting that A and D, so that is going well. And now that's good to go. And now we are ready to put it onto our piece of wood. I'm going to put it right here. I'm just smoothing that on. And then take your transfer tape off. And that was way easier than how I did it before. Just making sure that you have absolutely no air bubbles, because again, we're going to put that solution on top of our stencil here, so we don't want it peeking under, because when we go to burn it, then it will, burn the whole thing and you won't be able to see the letters. So I'm just going to put on the flowers now, and then we'll be ready to put on our solution. Okay, so now that it has dried, you can see it kind of created a white film on the stencil. That's my indicator that it is dry and ready to go for the heat gun. So what we're going to do is we're just going to peel off the stencil bit, and then I'm going to head out onto my deck to do the heat gun itself. I have heard that it does emit just a tiny bit of smoke. I can't see it personally, but I have heard that it does set some people's fire alarms off, so better safe than sorry. If this comes off in pieces, it's fine. You can kind of see a little bit of the material, but you'll just be able to heat gun it, and then you'll really see where the letters are. But do make sure to remove the stencil before you do it. And now I'm going to head out and heat gun it. Okay, so I've taken my vinyl off of it. I'm getting ready with my heat gun to apply the heat. I'm going to use it on the first setting, so I'm going to click it upward. That's about 500 degrees. And I found that the best way to do it is not to move it very much, but to kind of hold it in one place until you get that desired consistency. If it's not as dark as you want in some spots, you can blast it with the second setting, which is about 1,000 degrees, but I only did that for a couple of seconds on a couple of places on my last one, and I will let you know if I do it here, but I'm going to go ahead and get started with the heat. Okay, so here's our final product. I think it turned out really well. I gave it kind of more of a weathered look. Since it is going outside in a garden, I wanted it to look a little bit more kind of rustic, I would say. Really excited to see my neighbor's reaction. Again, we're watering their plants for the next few weeks, so we're just going to leave it out where their plants are, and they'll notice it when they get back. Hopefully you guys had fun and your guys' turned out well. You can go ahead and subscribe to my channel below and follow along for more videos. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.